course we're going to go live. I wouldn't have said go live if I didn't want to go live. Why do things always got to ask me twice? Hey, Kevin, how are you? How are you doing? What's up? I'm technically not late, but I'm late for me because I'm usually a couple minutes early. But Tato was outside and refused to walk inside. So, but I'm here. So what is up? You know what I couldn't find is my I've been carrying around. I did a customizing on my ZT-0357. And it looks cool. I swear I had it in my pants pocket on my way home from the shop, and then I changed pants when I got home, and I don't know where they are now. How's my day going? Gunnar Brubaker, I haven't heard from you in a while. How are you? My day is going all right. And CS, how are you? Good evening. Hi, Petey. Kitty Cat, how are you? Good evening to you, Kitty Cat. Hello. Meow. So, as everybody's showing up. So, how is everybody? I'm sorry, I took a week off last week. I was exhausted last week. I'm exhausted this week, but I took a nap last week. I took a nap last week. Really needed a nap. I feel very unprepared for this week because I was taking another nap. And where did that ZT go? It was right in my back pocket. And I put it somewhere because I couldn't find my watch. Because I left my watch somewhere at the shop when I left today. Because I took it off when I was dipping something. And so I dumped everything and add to the trade at 22. Oh, Obi-Wan figure. I sent you a text message last week after I seen text. I don't remember seeing a text message from you, Kevin. I gotta check. So anyway, guys, we are going to have a fun discussion because like normally I avoid politics and all that stuff. We're not avoiding it. We're not avoiding politics and all that stuff. If a regular dude, I'm going to say it right now, if you or me or a regular guy was just hanging out, somebody handed us a gun and said, hey, dude, this isn't loaded, don't worry about it, and we accidentally shot somebody, we'd be arrested and we'd be charged with negligent homicide. But when it's Alec Baldwin on a movie set, it's like, oh, he's a left-wing, he's a left-wing king, so, oh, it's the gun's fault, don't worry. It's not his fault because he didn't bother to check what was in his hand. We'll just blame the gun. Kind of pissed off. But there we go. I got a nice Gerber multi-tool storage unit I got at an auction. Oh, that's cool. So, anyway. Lots of interesting news stories going on this week. Lots of stuff going on. But, so, I don't know where to start. I guess we could start with the fact that this guy from Monthly Knife Club makes an excellent pizza cutting knife. I just want you to know that, guys. Excellent pizza cutting knife. I don't have, and you know what? I told you, I'm unprepared because I was taking a nap. So, it's cool. Tools and targets. Hold on. Look at tools and targets. Oh, for a minute I thought, yeah, well, I like the amen because but it looked almost like the middle of the weapons school graduate patch from. Well, don't worry about it because it's not what I thought it was. But so, yeah. Good evening, Todd. In updates from boxes past, I finally got some Zippo fuel for the little toil lighter. This is a little champ. This guy right here. Oh, I was about to say it lights up every time without fail. And like, of course, this is the first time. That was the first time it didn't light up on the first strike. Was right there. But this guy's awesome. This little tiny lighter. Smaller, lighter, and because it's sealed, like O-ring sealed, unlike a Zippo, does not leak lighter fluid like every single Zippo does. Aiden is text messaging me now. You guys gotta give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. It's like, since I've been all right. So let's start this whole thing over. Director's thing. Boop. Hi, guys. Here I am. There's just so much going on at the shop. So let's review. This knife, awesome pizza cutting, Alec Baldwin, douchebag, anti-gun nut that wouldn't know the first thing about guns if he accidentally shot a dude on set. And I can't find my ZT. I really want to show it to you guys. And how you guys doing? Petey Kitty Cat is awesome. Yay! Okay, so we've got lots going on. So I got two new Kubies that I had to look at. Better fire guy. Oh, okay. Catching up on the chats. Really cool, high end, and then just jade, another jade Kubi that we're going to see really soon. I have not had anybody claim either of the last giveaway prizes. The fake 940 that we redid, and then Aaron contributed this right here. Neither of those winners contacted me. So does a vet hold on with an under? CD Cremines, just curious, where was this storage unit? Curious. A vet under honorable discharge. Where was the storage unit that you got? St. Louis. That's where the U.S. Army Reserve has their thing. When you say with an under honorable discharge, you mean discharge under honorable conditions? Do they get benefits? Is that what you're asking? Like they have an honorable discharge, or is it a discharge not under honorable conditions, or a general discharge, or what are you? Sorry, guys, everything stops because I got to answer this question. I'm curious. Because he was discharged for drug. Oh, okay. So, all right. It really depends on under honorable. All right. So if you get an honorable discharge, you get benefits. If you get a general discharge, unless you get a bad conduct discharge, or you get a, I guess he got a general discharge under honorable conditions, is what I think his DD 214 says, probably. If it's under honorable conditions, or he still is entitled to benefits. Yes. If it's less than honorable, bad conduct, or dishonorable, then no benefits, none. So those are the things that we would look for. General discharge under honorable conditions, though, then yes, still entitled to benefits, because the drug use thing is if you get busted smoking weed, like as opposed to busted, carrying heroin, it's just there's different ways they do it. So yeah, and this, he was in Afghanistan, saw combat. That all changed. He could have been busted for drugs, but at the same time, he was then diagnosed. He's doing drugs. He's got PTSD. He's got some, physical health. So they could mitigate it. So he's still out because he popped hot on a drug test, and they have a zero tolerance policy for drugs. But at the same time, commanders and a discharge board have a little leeway to say, like, well, yeah, this guy's doing drugs, but was he like clean before? We have a clean record before he saw combat, and now he's physically, mentally messed up after combat, and then oops, he started doing drugs. Well, that's very typically linked to, poor mental health related. So as long as it says under honorable conditions, and those are keywords that we look for, then yes, he's still entitled to benefits. We don't know what benefits he is, because depending on what kind of VA ratings, it could be just for specific things. So let's say he has a bad back and he's rated 20% for his back, then he's, he gets a standard GI Bill and things like that, and then medical care for his bad back. If he's rated over a certain percent, though, he gets total health care from the VA for different. But anyway, so yes, the answer is yes, he gets some benefits. Sorry, I go on and on about that. Fat Cat, thank you for commenting or joining the live after all this time. How does it feel? You are now our guest. Fat Cat is our guest of honor right here. What I would do, CDs, I would I look up something called the Vet Center, and that's exactly what it's called. Do a search for the Vet Center. It is it's not a government agency, but it is administered by the VA, and they're in everywhere, and they're staffed by volunteers, all veterans, and they have a lot of outreach, because there are a lot of veterans who don't want to deal with the VA, but they do want to read. They will work with other veterans, and so like the Vet Center is a great resource for veterans to reach out for different things, and for help with disability claims, or they have a lot of times they have I wouldn't want to say the term group therapy, but just like groups, like, hey, we're having an Afghanistan vets group tonight. You can come and talk about your experiences and stuff like that. So I would look for the Vet Center, see if there's one near you, because they can help you get the ball rolling and do stuff. Hey, Tank, what's up? There's Tank. How you doing, Tank? Oh, I'm glad it feels good. And I wish I had salt and vinegar chips, but I don't have salt and vinegar chips. I want salt and vinegar chips. The boys are out to dinner with Grandma tonight, so I'm not preparing for stuff. Like prepared to do stuff. I wish I could find. I want to show you guys. I'm gonna have to put on Instagram that Buck Light. I'll look up the Vet Center I want them to have. His awards and paperwork. Yeah. I mean, his paperwork is replaceable for sure. But I'm sure the awards would be nice. You can even like, I could call up the VA and say like, look, I lost all my medals and ribbons. I'd like them replaced, and they'll do it. But it's not. It would be really. I'm sure it'd be really nice to have the original ones. And you know what? It's just a really cool. You're a cool dude. Because most people that buy storage units would be like, oh, I got this stuff. They'd like try to sell it at an antique place. You're awesome, dude. My surgery went good, and I'm recovering right now. Well, good old boy, I'm glad to hear that. This, guys, you want to know, Friday, me and Dave, that's Dave. You guys should know that. Me and Dave are going to start some table talks and some chats and recording some videos on some cool stuff together. So you guys will see that. Hey, do you guys Cerakote bow parts at the shop? Absolutely. We have done, we've done some really high-end competition bows. We did what am I thinking of? We did a regular hunting bow, compound bow. We also did one for like a real high-end. I don't know what they're called. I don't know the words. I don't shoot them, but for like somebody in the Wounded Warrior program, like a real tricked out, like not hunting but competitive shooting bow. Yeah. So yeah. Did you guys ever see? Question for the group: did I ever post video? You remember we got the Rascal 55 takedown bow in BattleBox once upon a time, like a long time ago. And did I ever show you guys the Cerakoting and the hydrographics work that I did on that? Somebody was asking about that, and I could have sworn I put a video up. I put a little tiny rail on it to put a red dot sight on it because it has no sights. You know, you're supposed to do it just by feel. You guys see that? Show that to anybody ever? In my disjunctionized. I don't know. But yeah, we do bows. Yes, I talked to Sunshine just the other day. She's doing okay. She's doing all right. Guys, I'm going to disappear for another second again. Hang on, because I want to just enjoy. Ooh, look at the ooh. Like this, it looks kind of like spaceship coming at you. So, can't believe I never did pictures or anything on this. Somebody, I forgot who was just asking me about this though. So this is the Rascal takedown bow. So yeah, we do bows. Well, you didn't win one of these from me, good old boy, because I never gave one away. But instead of this white whatever, I decided to do this one up. And this is one of the Cryptex. I think this is Highlander reduced. I don't remember which. I know it's not Altitude because that's the new one I like to do. This, I just did this double shot glass, and this is Highlander Altitude with a glossy coat. A glossiness. So I think, there goes the microphone. I think that this is Highlander, but I'm not entirely sure. So, but I mounted a red dot on it because at least then you have some form of aiming reference and stuff. And it's been in the closet ever since, just sitting there. And now it'll probably sit in the corner of the kitchen, so I'll forget to put it away for 6 or 7 weeks. It's gonna come on, balance. Okay, it's gonna fall down on the floor. There it is. Fall down on the floor. That's where I wanted. Got into non-gas station nubs. You know what? I'm so happy to hear this. Listen, I'm not encouraging you to go out and buy a bow. I know nothing about bows. I couldn't tell you jack or squat. I may have a special guest in the next few weeks who knows a lot about bows. She is an avid hog hunter via bow in southern Florida. So yeah, but I don't know if, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. But she's a very cool, very hot, cool bow hunter that I know from my days in Florida. Not this way back living in Florida, like the early 2000s. So we'll see. I asked if she wanted to join in on a live stream one day, and she said, yeah, that would be cool. But, we'll have to see. Yeah. So, by the way, the new Dune, this is totally off subject. So, I have read the books. The new Dune sucked. The old Dune wasn't very good. The new Dune really sucked. And it just sucked. That's complete. All right, next, moving on. We're getting ready for the next channel giveaway too, but I got to get the winners to this channel giveaway to come and claim their prizes, because I can't give away another item until I get one. I close the loop on this one. And for my Patreon guys, I'm about to do a giveaway of those night vision binocular things by Akaso, the NV01s. So that's going to be a Patreon only giveaway. That's going to be fun. Because I will... Tank, I have sent you one of the 2 boxes of stuff. I haven't gotten a chance to... I still have stuff for your second box, spread out in a couple different places. And I got to clean some rust off a kukri before I send it out to you. So I have to... but that's why you haven't got the second box yet, Tank. Well, you know what I was hoping, Dominic? I was hoping that if they were going to split into 2 movies, they would at least do better than the first one. Because, well, first of all, if you watch the 3-hour director's cut of the 1984 one, it is better than the theatrical cut. But, with this new Dune, they both go off book in their own ways. And there's just stuff with the new one that they just don't bother to explain, or don't bother to even talk. I don't want to talk about it. It's just, yeah. They decided to swap content for flashy visuals and special effects. And it doesn't even make any sense. They don't bother to explain why in the year 10,000 armies are having sword fights instead of laser guns. And we have laser guns back then. You know what I mean? But there's a reason specifically why they are choosing to fight these mass wars with swords and stuff. And I didn't watch the Dune miniseries on purpose. I didn't, because I kind of thought it was going to suck. But, I'm not even going to get into it. There's so much stuff that they just love. And then that whole scene with the sand crawl, with the spice harvester, when they go to rescue the crew, they just made stuff up that wasn't in the book. They just added stuff for dramatic effect and whatever. I'm somebody that believes if you're going to make a movie of the book, you stick to the book. It's so easy. They practically wrote it for you. It's the book, and they just screwed it up. I don't know. One of the main. Sorry, I'll let this go in a minute. One of the big things. they make it like the tiniest little thing, like, oh, the doctor betrayed them. Great, okay, like, but it's a super big deal that the doctor betrayed them for a very and they like gloss over it, like, oh, I guess the doctor just has his personal reasons, but like the fact that they got the doctor to be able to, they don't even talk about that, and the fact that the Emperor's troop, like, see, I don't want to give spoilers away from the book, but I mean, like, the whole thing was like the Emperor sent his troops into battle in Harkonnen uniforms because it wasn't supposed to be known that the Emperor was helping them. It was a big deal that they were trying to get word off that planet that they found the Sardaukar troopers in Harkonnen uniforms, because that was a big conspiracy in the book that the Emperor was in on it. And that comes later on in it. I mean, there's like a whole but anyway, there's more I could get into, but I'm not going to, because the casting choices were like, I don't know what they're going to reveal in the second movie, so I'm not going to talk more about it. But they very specifically describe what the Baron looks like and what Lady Jessica looks like, and neither of them look what they're supposed to look like, and they need to look like a certain way for a reason. If I was the dictator, it would be a capital offense to make a movie adaptation that does not actually follow the storyline of the book. Yeah. It would also be a capital offense to reboot anything made in the 80s. Yeah. See, Dominic, you joke, but if you actually made a legit movie of Dune, you would need 20 hours. Like, that's why you would need to make, probably not 20 hours, but it'd be like a 6-hour movie. Maybe I should check out the miniseries. One of the good things, like Hunger Games was one of the, I'm not saying they did a great job, but it's one of the series that came closest, I think, to from book to movie translations that I've read. And then I read the Divergent series. You read the books, they're good. The movies were disgusting. The movies were like Twilight in the future. It's just, maybe on Arrakis they could have used a desert spice wallet, and that would have solved all the problems. But I'm going to go off on this rant. I've read so many. World War Z is the absolute worst, and I've said this before. World War Z is the worst translation of a book written and then developed into a movie. The only thing that World War Z has to do with the book is that it has the title World War Z, and that there are some zombies in it. Nothing else has anything to do. And the book was brilliant, because if you don't know, and this is not really a spoiler, but the book was written from the point of view of a historian who went around the world a decade after the end of the zombie apocalypse and put together the stories of survivors in like he's working for the UN, right? And he's going around from China. Isn't it weird that the zombie apocalypse in World War Z actually started in a little province in China? But he starts and he gets the stories of survivors and talks of as it spreads around and puts it all together. And so you're hearing the story of the zombie apocalypse from where it started all the way through to where it was finally ended and conquered. But you're hearing the firsthand accounts, the stories being told from the point of view as it goes. Dude, absolute shit. Shit. Especially the new Amazon one, Without Remorse. Fuck that shit on a hot tin roof. I mean, and the thing is, you could watch them as movies. Okay, great. But I'm telling you, like, if you read The Hunt for Red October, right? In The Hunt for Red October, there is so much more going on. You don't understand how close to World War III the world gets. And in the book, it's like, in the book, you have like American A-10s doing simulated bombing runs on the Soviet naval fleet, to the point where they're like, they fly in a 4-ship formation, and like they're like 100 feet off the surface of the ocean, dropping a box of flares over the Russian ships to say like, haha, we could have killed. Like, I mean, it's like for real. Some of All Fears, so much better. Patriot Games, there's like a lot more into the backstory of it. What's another Tom Clancy book? Okay. And also with Patriot Games, there's like an entire story of what's going on in the jungle, and that explains, if you guys are Rainbow Six fans, the whole story of John Clark / John Kelly and Ding Chavez, who become major characters later on throughout the series. That is their origin story right there. Now, the origin story of John Clark is Without Remorse, which of course then they turned into Michael B. Jordan in as a what? But you know, Without Remorse is a great story because it takes place 20-25 years before any other Tom Clancy story, happens. And you realize what a huge badass this guy is, who's then doing all this other CIA stuff, and how he ends up doing that. Sorry, I could go on and on like this, but it's just, there are times where you can tell that they care about telling the story, and there are times where you can tell that all they care about is the cash grab. And unfortunately, that's where Hollywood is about the cash grab. Good match play. Hello. Sorry you walked right into the middle of this. And yeah, there are very few reboots and retellings that are as good as the original. I mean, honestly, there are very few that are as good as the original. But how many times has the original Kurosawa story Seven Samurai been retold through history, and I bet you don't even realize you've seen a reboot of that or a redo of that, because it's just such a great story. One of the worst if you want to see a bad science fiction movie, look up Battle Beyond the Stars, an old 80s science fiction. Terrible. But I mean, it's awesome. It's so terrible, it makes it awesome. But Dark Tower visual novel coming out, I have not heard of it. No. But I mean, and the Stand, on the original Stand miniseries, I remember seeing when I was in high school, junior high, high school, I don't know, on CBS. I think that, you know what? Zardoz, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anybody that I've ever made. It's Rachel. Rachel, we were talking about you. We were talking about you, Rachel. Here she is. Hi. Tell us how you are. Then we get, and then like Squid Game, which, by the way, I think the reason Squid Game has done so amazingly around the world is because Squid Game was an original story. Like, that was written for Netflix, and Squid Game is awesome. No, somebody specifically asked, like, hey, what's up with, they said, what's up with you? How you doing? And we were talking about you. Hello. So, I don't know why we just spent 10 minutes talking about bad movie versions of books, but Ready Player One is also one that I absolutely hate in movie version because of how it had so little to do with the book, besides the fact it was called Ready Player One. It starred Wade, and he was trying to, complete this thing in the Oasis. But God, the book is good. I just finished listening to it on Audible again for like the 5th time. So good. Great Tom Clancy book, by the way, if you want to read it or do it. Red Storm Rising is awesome about like a potential, and it's in the 80s, so it's the finest 1986 technology. Do I play video games? Yes, I do play some video games. Tank. Is Tank leaving? Tank, talk to you soon. So Red Storm Rising is very outdated at this point, but it's a great how World War III conventional in Europe might have gone. And I'm glad they never made a movie of it, because you couldn't have made a movie of that. It would have sucked. Well, Fat Cat, thank you for stopping in and finally saying hello and joining us. That's awesome. I have not seen the new Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. No, I haven't seen them. Hey, Scott, what's going on? No, Joshua, I play on Xbox, not on PC. I pre-ordered the new Far Cry 6, so I've been playing that lately. I'm still playing Fallout 76 because I hate myself. But that's, those are the two I've been playing the most lately. There aren't a lot of new games I like. I like to play the old games over and over and over and over. So, Rachel, how are you, by the way? We wanted like an update directly from you. David, if you want to send me those pictures, do you want me to send you pictures of the pictures? Yeah, you can. I have been doing so many. We do a lot of internet transfers at the shop, which means somebody will buy a gun on the internet, their FFL will transfer it to us under our FFL, and someone will come pick it up. And it's just well, so I usually do my gaming later at night, kind of as I'm getting ready for bed, like as a settle myself down and de-stress. So my gamer tag is Mikey P Bean 2020 or 220. Honestly, I can't remember, but look at that. Look, if you see me. Let's go message. All right, David, I will. I just haven't had a chance to go through everything. Back for Blood. No, see, I don't even know what Back for Blood is. Don't even know. Oh, hey, Sunshine, get this. So, VA stuff. So, with regard to the burn pit registry and the presumptive stuff and whatever, so I filed a new claim based on all the emails I got that said you're eligible for this, and that. Working with the VA doctor and answering all the questions, the VA doctor says he thinks I have had COVID and it came and went and I didn't even know it. And I was like, what? Because I also had to get some blood tests, and you know what, Sunshine, I'm gonna have a conversation with you offline about this, but he's looking at different antibody levels and things like that. And, yeah, PlayStation's so good. Why don't they have Halo? Actually, I I think the last PlayStation I had was a PlayStation 2, so I could play Secret Weapons over Normandy, and that was a fun game. Yeah, I haven't had a PlayStation since then. So I would take one of those unclaimed folders I never wanted to do. Oh, really? Well, Kurt. Oh, so I was taught. Okay, we got a plan worked out for all the knives you sent, and I got to talk to you about. I'll email you, but you know what? Then unclaimed folder goes to you. Although if you've never owned a decent folding knife, I feel like I want you to have a better one than one of those. The only Halo I played was the first one. Okay, let's talk about Halo. While we're talking about Halo, do we have any fans of Red versus Blue? Because Red versus Blue is amazing. And if you are not familiar with Red versus Blue, this is an assignment. I'm giving everybody homework. Okay, this is one of the worst lives I've ever done. But because we have no agenda here today, let's talk about Red versus Blue, because I love Red, and this will come to a deployment related story too when I get there. So Red versus Blue, if you're not familiar, some dudes took the game engine. Well, backing up, some guys figured out, a bunch of college guys hanging out, as college guys do, figured out that if they played Halo on multiplayer originally, they could kind of make their own, and they recorded. They could make their own little, voiceover, their own little quick cartoons, and entertain their friends. And edit the clips together. And they are funny dudes. And they started putting together these funny little clips on the internet called Red versus Blue, because in the multiplayer version it's Red versus Blue. So they started doing this funny little thing, and it was hilarious. And I mean, and you can find it online. It's online on streaming services as if it was a real TV show. Back in the day, we're talking 2001, I think 2002. I remember watching it as it came out, episode by episode, like 2-3 minute episode with a friend of mine. And we'd be dying to watch the next one coming out. And these guys were just hilarious. And they're the two most incompetent armies in, Blood Gulch. They called the original series was actually called Blood Gulch Chronicles. There we go. And so one day, it got so popular so quick that Bungie found out about it, and I don't know if this is before or after Microsoft had bought it, but anyway, they got in touch with these guys, and they thought they were in trouble. They thought, like, oh my God, they're going to be so pissed. It's going to be copyright this, copyright that. But these dudes from Bungie actually said, you guys are so hilarious. And this is actually they call it Rooster Teeth. Yes, they call them Rooster Teeth Productions, but they only call it Rooster Teeth because they couldn't officially name their company Cockbite. But that's what Rooster Teeth was. They said, you guys are so hilarious, and this is honestly such great free advertising for Halo. We want to give you the game engine. We want to give you all the source code, because you know what? We want you to do this for real, and we're gonna give you everything, and we're gonna give you the full rights to do it. You do your thing. So they actually had a meeting. They gave these guys the full game engine, the full source code for everything. So instead of just trying to do this mishmash, low budget, making their characters move, so what they do is they'd have one guy in the 4-player multiplayer. They'd have one person be the camera, and then they'd have the other people move around. and do. But so when they gave them the actual, code, they could do it all as if as one giant cutscene. It's basically how they animated their thing. And then Red versus Blue was born, and it is hilarious. And as different versions of Halo have come down, they've incorporated new characters and new. Oh, South Africa, hello, welcome, Bex Preston, and Matt Bowers. How are you doing? And so, so as they're going on, so like they started with just this Blood Gulch Chronicles, but then they were like, well, now we need to do seasons. So they had seasons. So by the time that it was 2006, I was in Iraq. This is how it becomes a deployment story. And at this point they only had 3 seasons, but it was hilarious. And I was describing this to some guys that we were deployed with. Well, thank you. I'm glad your husband introduced you to the channel. I'm glad you enjoy it, Bex. So I was like, and they were like, we couldn't, because of all the restrictions on internet and everything, we couldn't watch the episodes there. So I said, you know what? They have DVDs now. I'm going to order the DVDs so that I could show the guys, downtown. Because we started referring to one of our guys was like, God bless him, he meant well, but he was really stupid all the time. We called him Caboose. There's a stupid character named Caboose, and there's one guy that's just mean to everybody and like sarcastic. His name is Church, and people started calling me Church. And there's another kind of dumb guy who just, named Tucker. We named someone else Tucker. And so, anyway, we did all this stuff. And so I went to order the DVDs, and there was no APO shipping available. And I don't think they had any overseas ship. I can't remember. But so I was like, damn, this sucks. I really want it. And I could have ordered it to have it delivered to someone at home and then have them ship it over, but it would have taken forever. So I just shot an email over to their customer service, and I said, listen, I'm deployed. I really want to order these DVDs. I've been watching your stuff forever. And could you please, is there a way you could ship it to an APO address so we could get it delivered? And a day or two later, I got an email back from somebody at Rooster Teeth, and they said, hey, if you give me your address, I can figure out what shipping would be. We've never shipped to APO before, but I'm sure we can do it. So I said, oh, that's awesome. Thanks. I gave him the whole address, whatever. And within a couple hours, I got another email back from the guys at Rooster Teeth that said, we just want to let you know, we think it's awesome that the guys that do the real thing think what we do is funny. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for fighting. Stay safe over there. And to thank you for your service. Seasons 1 through 3, bought, paid for, and shipped on the way over to you. You guys are awesome. We love the troops, or something like that. And that was a really touching thing that they did that. And it was really cool. And so, when they finally, they included a photo of like a thank you card that they sent. They did a thank you card with all their signatures on it. And so when we got the videos, and I still have the picture somewhere, we went to so our first station was when Saddam International was Saddam International. We took the giant mural of Saddam Hussein and we stole it. And then when we trucked up to Balad, we stole this big picture of Saddam with us, and we kept it. It was one of the worst secrets. We kept it hidden in a little tent, and everybody wanted to come get their pictures taken with Saddam. And so now this was like where we kind of kept a bunch of maintenance stuff. And so we posed in front of the big picture of Saddam holding the 3 things, and everybody held up a piece of paper with the name of a character and an arrow pointing to someone else's head. You know, like said Caboose, Tucker, Sarge, Griff. Everybody had another thing, and sent over to them and said, thanks so much. They just arrived. We can't wait. And they actually had that picture up on their website for a while, which was really cool. And it was just really nice. I still have pictures of us in front of of course we have the Rex, you got to understand the respect that we have for our troops here in America comes and goes as people like or don't like what the country's doing. I mean, it's true. There are some people that always love the troops, but it is pretty cool. It was a really cool moment. Put the Saddam pic as your background. I gotta find it. Everybody took pictures in front of Saddam. I actually hold on. Who did this? You know how like sometimes I do this and I go, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna see something as we reach the end of our time here. Let me see if I can find a picture in front of. If I could show you that stolen Saddam. Okay, hang on. Of course, now I got to do the magic of this, trying to share screens. My ex who almost killed me. My ex who almost killed me was shot twice in the neck in Iraq. No, you didn't, Sunshine. Sounds like he should have been shot one more time in Iraq. Here's the stolen Saddam Hussein picture mural that you can see we cut out. And that's me. That's very young me. That's 2006. That was forever ago, huh? But that's me back in the ancient desert. An actual desert uniform. Imagine that. Wearing a uniform in desert colors, not gravel pit colors. How cool is that? And yeah. So there was that. And then let me see if I can find the picture with the DVDs real quick. I don't know if it's on here, but I might have to. I don't see it. I think I have it on a hard drive. So no, I don't have it on here. That was a Facebook picture, but show you guys something else that's cool. Well, it's kind of cool. This is what it looks like when you have to call close air support on your own position, and they do a show of force right over your own head. There's an A-10 popping flares to let bad guys know. The next ones go boom. Yeah. So, anyway, there's that. Stolen Saddam giveaway item. I had an awesome patch that I can't find anymore. Let me find the. All right, I'm going to show this last one. This patch that I can't find it anymore. We almost got in a lot of trouble for this patch too. Is it? Let me see if it's on. Oh, it's not on here. Well, that's right. Facebook got offended by it and took it off. Hang on. I'm going to show it to you guys in another thing. At another time. Yeah, Facebook got very offended by it. It was a patch that had a noose on it, and it's black, and it said, "I was in Iraq for the big swing," and I forgot the date, but it was like it had the date on it, and it said Saddam Hussein, like 1946 to 2006. because that was the day they hung Saddam, and nobody in the local Iraq government decided to tell us they were doing it that day. So we were just like, all of a sudden, we're hearing gunshots everywhere, and we thought they were aimed at us, but it was all the celebratory fire up in the air, and we actually started catching falling rounds from, like, seriously, like, there were falling rounds coming down from the sky through, like, vehicle rooftops and all sorts of stuff. I mean, that was interesting. We had one of our brand new lieutenants was trying to fill out requisition paperwork for someone coming up, and a 7.62 round popped through a little tin roof panel right next to him, and would have killed him. Would have killed him if it was just a little bit over. So yeah. So that was interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry this has not been the most organized chat I've ever done. I don't think it's been the most disorganized, but it has not been the most organized. I have done worse, but I've certainly done better. But I will. Oh, Iraq was. You know, how's the boys? By the way, I love the Patreon video. Yeah, I'll probably post that one tomorrow. The Ethan takes over. The boys are doing good. Thank you for asking. How's your family? How's your whole pod? But sometimes, you know, I'll CD. Sometimes the good ones are unscripted and unplanned. You know, I am going to start doing a lot more videos in the shop. Like, I'm going to record one tomorrow, really going a little bit more in depth about the difference between Cerakoting and hydrographics and what they're for, and why you would choose one over the other. Because I seem to get that question a lot. So we'll start doing a lot. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. We're doing a lot more automotive parts. There's a local place that does very high end automotive work, and they bring us a lot of stuff to work on. So I've in the past month, I've gotten my hands on the inner workings of a Lamborghini, 2 Ferraris, and 2 McLarens. And so I haven't been in the cars, but I've touched their guts. And I'll tell you what, even their exhaust systems feel like they're worth $1 million. Like, it's crazy. All hand welded, and like they literally hand what's the word? Shape and pattern out titanium plates to make their exhaust stuff. Kevin Hart. Wait, Kevin Hart? What? Kevin Hart died? Oh, shut up. For a minute, I was like, what? Kevin Hart died? What? I didn't know Kevin Hart died. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on in the news. You know what's very interesting to me? In the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, the judge declared that they're not allowed to call anybody he shot a victim, because that implies that he did wrong. That if he's found guilty, then they are victims. But until he's found guilty, they are just people that he shot, because it still has not been determined if he was acting in self-defense. If he was acting in self-defense, then he's actually the victim. But, you know, my favorite part of a chicken is the wing. I like chicken wings. Will you link KR's channel? Hang on. Would you rather have... I would never approve consensual rape ever, because there's no such thing as consensual rape. You know what? I'm going to block this dude, because anybody who wants to joke about rape is a dick. So there. I'll tell you what I'll have to do. I will have to. Yeah, there you go. It's the same there. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I've known too many. I've known too many sisters and brothers in uniform that have been sexually assaulted. I'm gonna repeat that. And brothers in uniform that have been sexually assaulted. That's not a thing we joke about. Not at all. Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny. So that guy's just a douche. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in and letting me just through this one. But we'll do some more structured things next week, and look forward to more in the shop videos and to the next series, the next set of giveaways coming up soon. I know what they're going to be. You don't know what they're going to be, but I know what they're going to be, and they're going to have some more personalization and customization on them as we go forward. So, thank you guys as always for hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys. Kevin, I gotta now open up the box I was gonna send you and add one more thing worth of Cat Pack in it, but it'll just be a bigger box. So, anyway, as always, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will be back again real soon. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. Thank you, Peter. Peter's awesome. Like clockwork every week. You guys are cool. So, wings seasoned by Bushcraft. All right, Bushcraft Spikes Wallet came back. The other side of the box on YouTube. Okay. We can talk about the muzzle brake. You know what? I'm gonna talk to you, Kevin. I'm gonna talk to you. But all right, I gotta go do things and stuff. I will see you guys soon.